if you don't step up and claim or own that leadership position, guys, what is up? It's been a while. I'm sorry. I have this house and I am just like DIYing everything, and it's awesome, and I'm like doing all these projects. I'm like rewiring my garage and venting stuff, and you know, I'm just now getting into bat boxes to take care of mosquitoes, so all sorts of cool stuff going on. I wanted to come back to you with a video on some referee topics. So I really like Cesar Milan. Okay, that guy is awesome. He's an inspiration. The things he talks about with how he helps discipline dogs or rehabilitate dogs, like a lot of it applies to soccer refereeing in my opinion. So I just want to share a couple of gems with you. First of all, Cesar was talking about the relationship between the dog owner and the dog, and he was saying that in a pack of dogs, if there's like 5 dogs there and like the pack leader dies, very quickly one of the other 4 dogs is going to step into the place of pack leader. Okay, so someone's going to quickly jump in there and fill it, and then everyone's going to kind of readjust after that. Okay, so in the relationship between the dog owner and the dog, in the absence, Cesar says that typically the owner takes the follower role, okay? Or typically the owner does not default to being the leader. And in the absence of a leader, the dog then hops over the owner and goes into the leadership role, okay? That's what Cesar says. And he says a lot of Americans have this problem of jumping into the follower role with their pet, and then because the pet has nowhere else to go, the pet assumes the leadership role, all right? Even though it's not healthy for the relationship. In your games, guys, when you're the referee, the game needs a leader. The game needs a pack leader. They need someone to officiate. They need someone to interpret the laws of the game. They need someone to say, this is a foul, this isn't. This is how we're handling the situation, whatever. In your absence of not assuming that role, shit's gonna go bad, okay? Then coaches are gonna start coming in and going, whoa, 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 and the other coaches, whoa, 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 and then the parents, blah, 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 and then the players, blah, blah, blah. Okay, if you don't step up and claim or own that leadership position, it's gonna be an unhealthy relationship between you, the referee, and the coaches, and the players, and the parents for the rest of the game. Okay? So, the game needs a leader. It needs a referee. Don't be like the pet owner who assumes the follower position. Because when you do that, people are going to overstep you and think they need to jump in and start helping you do your job, and it ain't going to be pretty. Okay? The game needs you to step into that role. Come hell or high water, that's your role. That's your job, okay? And it will be worse if you don't do that. Okay, so that's my first big point. That's from Cesar, okay? That guy's awesome. Second point. So if you're in a game and you had to make a call, like you had to call a direct free kick foul in the penalty area. So now you gave a penalty kick to one of the teams, and like the coaches are going off at you, and like they're like really, and like the coach is really pissed at you, and the players are pissed, blah blah blah, right? The intensity of their being pissed off, right? Like they're really pissed because they saw it a totally other way, blah blah, whatever, right? But their level of anger and disagreement is like a 7 out of 10, right? Your level of peace, of resolution, of being assured, of being confident needs to be a 7. You have to match in intensity whatever they're going to give you. Want to know what? I'm so sure that my intensity of my peace and my confidence is a 10. And the intensity of my 10 will back down your 7 because I know it. So Cesar says, when a dog is like, coming at you and they're really anxious or aggressive or whatever, he says that your leadership or your confidence or your calmness or your assertiveness needs to be at the same intensity as whatever the dog is giving you. So again, to apply this to the referee game, right? Or to the soccer game. The intensity of, your presence and how sure you are in your decisions and the peace and the tranquility and the confidence that you emulate, right? Or that you give off needs to be at the same level or more than whatever you're getting in disagreement or in pushback. All right? So, well, geez, Stephen, how do I have that? Well, one way you have that is by knowing what you saw and getting your butt in a position to see it. And when you see it, like when you make a call and you saw exactly you saw it 100% and you're totally sure, people can be yelling at you all day and it doesn't matter because you know what you saw. It was very clear. You had the best position. You were right there. I got it. Then guys can yell at you all you want and you don't care because it doesn't shake your confidence. Because you know what you saw. If you're unsure, then all them getting on you, then that's going to kind of rock you, right? But if you and your crew know what you saw, guys, right? And that just goes a long way for helping you to have an intense peace or confidence or assuredness about your decision. So, again, so those are my 2 points from Cesar. The guy is awesome, and thanks for tuning into this episode, and we'll see you in the next one.